over the years, I've been collecting artifacts. As a matter of fact, I've been collecting little pencils like this. I've seen alligators on jars. I've seen alligator ashtrays, and I've seen them depicted with kids in it. And I was wondering why the children would be there. As a matter of fact, this particular pencil sharpener, this is a pencil sharpener or a pencil holder with a black head of a baby sitting out of its mouth. I didn't pay any attention. I have been collecting for quite a few years, and I have the posters and things like that about different things. And then one day I was down in Florida. I'd gone down with my wife, and I took a trip for myself off to the Wild Blue Yonder, going out to hunt artifacts. And in my quest to hunt artifacts, I came upon a pawn shop in Sanford, Florida. In the pawn shop was a gentleman who owned it. They went and got him and told him I was there, and I wanted to buy some of the shackles he had hanging around the walls. I asked him, could I buy them? He said no. He didn't want to sell anything. He just wanted me to see it. Then we began to talk. And I asked him, I said, look, please, let me buy something. I got to take something from here. He says, no. He says, I don't want to sell anything. He said, but I'm going to the back and I'll sit down. Meanwhile, he came out and came back out and began to talk to me. He said, he said, you probably don't know this. He said, but years ago, he said, my grandfather, before he died, told me of the things they would do. He said he would go down. He said his grandfather said they would go down and they would take babies with them. I said, what do you mean babies? He says, well, let me tell you. He said the slaves who had babies, they would steal the babies during the course of the day, sometimes when the mothers weren't washing. I said, what do you mean babies? I said, you mean babies like 5 or 6 years old? He says, no. These babies, some would be infants, some would be a year old. He said some would be toddlers. He said they would grab these children and take them down to the swamp and leave them in pens like little chicken coops. They would go down there at night, take these babies and tie them up because they hunted the big bull alligators. These big bull alligators were not raised on the farms. They were in the wild. These alligators would weigh 600, 700, 800 pounds. Those are the ones they wanted. They would skin them, make the wallets, get the meat, do different things with them. He said, but what they were doing was tie them up, put a rope around their neck and around their torso, around here, and tie it tight. He said, I said, well, what would the babies be doing? He said, well, my grandfather said they'd be screaming. He said, what would you do? He said, just let them scream. He said, what they would do, it would help them to chum the water. He said, when they would throw the babies in tied to this rope, he said, in a matter of minutes, he said, the alligators were on them. He said, the alligators would clamp his jaws on that child. As a matter of fact, once he clamped on him, he was really swallowed. You couldn't see anything but the rope. And we would pull the alligator in and tie his nose and hit him in the head with an axe, a pickaxe. He said we would then drag him to the shore. We'd drag him to the shore and leave him lay, and we would do it again, maybe 2 or 3 times a night. I said, so what do you mean? He said, well, yeah, they were taking these babies and killing them for alligator bait. I said, so all these things I've been collecting, are really, really something that I can really talk about and say they're of a truth by what you say. He said, I'm telling you, he said, nobody wants to talk about it. He said, I'm only telling you because you're here. I may never hear from you again. He said, but these things actually depict the acts that they did to slave babies back in the Bayou country and down the South. They did this. They hunted alligators with these babies. That's why they call alligator bait.
All praises Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. This video I saw probably about 2 years ago. And the truth is coming out. Esau, you're done. The truth is coming out on you. There are so many of these videos that are the truth. And I wanna connect this with another story I saw. This was 2016. This little baby at Disneyland here in Florida, I'm in Florida, was attacked by an alligator. The boy was 2 years old. They looked for a few days and then they found the boy dead. The alligator killed him. So this is Yahweh getting back at these Edomites. Let me run this video. Whoa, whoa.
A tragic ending after a 16-hour search for a 2-year-old boy who was snatched by an alligator at a Disney resort. Divers finding the body of Lane Graves this afternoon in the Seven Seas Lagoon on the grounds of the Grand Floridian Resort.
Of course, the family was distraught, but also, I believe, somewhat relieved that we were able to find their son with his body intact.
The horrific scene unfolded Tuesday as Matt and Melissa Graves were visiting from Nebraska with their son Lane and their 4-year-old. The whole family was outside for movie night. 2-year-old Graves was wading into the water around 9 p.m. That's when his father says the alligator attacked and dragged his son into the water.
That our thoughts and prayers are with this family.
Authorities say as the 4 to 7 foot alligator snatched the toddler, the boy's father struggled to pry the gator's jaws open, but it quickly disappeared underwater. Stunned witnesses called for help, and emergency crews dispatched marine units, divers, and scoured the lagoon sonar. At 1:45 p.m., they located the boy's body, still intact, not far from where he was taken.
On behalf of our entire agency, and we are terribly heartbroken at this outcome.
The Seven Seas Lagoon separates the hotel resort from Disney World's Magic Kingdom. It's a man-made lake about 200 acres in size and 14 feet deep in parts. But it connects to a series of canals that feed into large bodies of water, making it possible for alligators to get onto Disney property. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission says Disney has full-time staff monitoring the water, killing any alligators that pose a threat. And Disney says they've never had an attack in the 45 years since these waterways were created. Disney also posts these no swimming signs, and as a precaution, they shut down all of their beaches. Since the boy was snatched, officials have killed 5 gators. Now they'll perform forensic tests to see if they got the one that attacked or if they need to keep searching.
There's a good chance.
Okay, we don't stop there. We're going to get some scripture on this, because this is it for Esau. This is Esau. You're out of here. Okay, first one we're going to get is Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess a land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Now Yahweh is getting Esau back for what he did to the Israelite babies when they were enslaved. This is the first instance I've seen where an alligator attacked and killed a baby, a little white baby. And they were all up in arms over this. Disney had to shut down and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, Yahweh's on this. He's on the case on this one. So, this is payback. This is payback. So we're gonna get another scripture. We're gonna get Exodus 20 and 5. And it reads, Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. So back when Esau was killing the Israelite babies, this was back in the early 1900s. Or it even goes back to the 1800s. So they've been doing that for a long time. Feeding our kids to alligators for bait. So they're going to get it. This is all the way to the 3rd, 4th generation. So I'm thinking that the the father who set the trap for the little kid, put the kid in a cage, and the alligator came and ate the kid. That was either the judgment for that, or it was the actual kid's judgment. The little baby was one of the men that did that to our kids. So, more payback. Let me get Numbers 14 and 18. It pretty much says the same thing. Yahweh is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. So that's two scriptures that says the same thing. And it's the same. Killing little babies, feeding them for alligator bait. Now their kid became alligator bait. He was down by the shore of this lagoon, and the alligator came up and just took him. And he deserved it. It was either his father or he was the man that was feeding our little babies to alligators. So let me get Deuteronomy 32. And 39. Oh no, you can see that. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So Yahweh's on the case on this one. Slowly but surely, he's setting the plagues on these devils. We're getting payback. This is payback. Let's see. Let me get Amos. Amos 1 and 11. I'm sorry I didn't adjust this so you can see this better. I should have did that in the first place. Okay. Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So Esau is still killing us, and finding unique ways to kill us, using us for bait, gator bait. Damn devils. So this is perpetual. It's going to go on. It's been going on forever since Esau and Jacob went against each other. Let me get Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20 and 24. Whoops. Oh, didn't spell that right. Okay, we'll get it. We'll get it. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own ways? So Yahweh is making these men do what they do. He'll set them to do evil ways on us. He's done it because we didn't keep his commandments. So Esau's ways is direct by Yahweh. But then he's putting the plagues on them. He's getting them back. Let's get let me see. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. And mess that up. I did. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. So basically, I'm going to read this. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God, our power, who gave it. So when we die, we go to Yahweh, and he puts a judgment on us. He'll send us back for that judgment. So that little kid got ate by that alligator. He was judged. He was probably one of those men that put our little ones in the cages as gator bait. So this is yeah, that's it on that's it on the scripture. But this has had those videos. I didn't really see it till, because first I saw the one about the gator bait, and then later on I saw the one about the little baby that got snatched up by an alligator, and I didn't put it together until I came into the truth. Because back then I was going, oh, poor Esau. You know, I wasn't saying poor Esau. Oh, poor little baby got ate by an alligator. But now it's like, yeah, it's justice. It's righteous justice. They did the most wicked to us. Now they're getting it back. So all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Kwam Yeshurallah, Shalom.